Well, hello there. My name's Dr. Jeffrey Feinstein and I'm a PhD in disaster management. Today I want to talk about a very disturbing phenomenon that's currently occurring in the southwest of Germany, and that doesn't get the awareness that I think it should. Well, what's it all about? As you know, the Germans are very keen users of alternative energy, and there are quite a lot of different ones, as there are water power, solar power and wind power. Well, as you all know, wind power generation is done by wind turbines, and a lot of people don't like them. There are various reasons for that. One is that people think they are unsightly part of the landscape, which they call asparagization. Sort, I don't really understand, but that's a different story. Well, other people don't like them because they think they are giant meat choppers, chopping all kinds of animals, such as insects, bats or birds, the most prominent being most likely the red kite. The red kite. Well, other people don't like it because they think that wind turbines are generating a phenomenon that's called infrasound. So you may say, what's that, infrasound? I never heard of. Well, that's very true that you never heard of it, because infrasound is actually a sound that is below 20 Hertz in frequency, and the human ear is not capable of hearing that sound. So you may say, what's the point if I can't hear a sound, it's not disturbing me? Well, some people think differently because they believe that infrasound is actually a very, very dangerous thing. Because they say that with animals it makes them aggressive. And they bring examples like these nerds, as they call it. Nerds, not these nerds. It's the other ones which we call American mink, but of course in Europe they call them differently. Well, and these people say when exposed to infrasound, those nerds, or minks as we call them, they are getting aggressive and biting each other, like on this picture here. Well, but that's not the point, because these animals bite each other anyway, and that's why they end up in Russian fur coats or hats. Well, but the problem is a different one, and most people haven't realized it, and it's connected to another animal that you very well know. It's the mole. Well, moles normally are only feared by intelligence and secret services, but in this case it's different. And it's very simple to explain. Well, you probably all know this device. Well, it's not what you think, ladies, but it's working kind of the same way. Sorry. Anyway, this is causing some infrasonic radiation, and this is scaring the moles away. But if such a relatively small device, sorry ladies, is scaring the moles away, what do you think is happening with such a big device as an enormous wind turbine? Yes, exactly, it is scaring the moles away. So, the gardeners among you may say, well, what's the point? That is a good thing. Yes, and initially it is. But just look at the geography of Germany. Well, the Germans started to build the first wind turbines at the North and the East Sea, which is sensible because you have a lot of wind there. And then they slowly proceeded all over the country. And what do you think the moles are doing? Yes, they are running away from the wind turbines, being scared by the sound. And they are not digging a tunnel under it, but they're running or digging in the opposite direction, which means all the moles are coming from the north to the south. That you see all over the countryside, as in this poor people's garden that I visited about 2 weeks ago. And you easily can see moles everywhere, and they're digging and digging. And the concentration is so high that they obviously have to dig deeper into the ground. And what does that mean? It means that over time, the gardens are caving in. Well, on that picture you see what happened to this poor people's house about 2 weeks later. And this is massive. This is everywhere. this, and this, and even this lake was generated by caving in. So you could say, what's the problem? That's just southwest of Germany, and I don't like the people there anyway. Well, that's understandable, but that doesn't help much, because when the whole southwest of Germany is caving in, and probably also a bit of France or Switzerland or Austria, the Earth's rotation axis is believed to tilt a couple of degrees, like this. And then you can easily understand what's going to happen. If the Earth is tilting, there will be floodings, there will be drownings, and a lot of people will be killed, even in America. And this is, of course, something we are not supposed to tolerate. So, now you may say, what can I do? Well, the answer is very simple. Build more wind turbines in the southwest of Germany. That will force the moles back to the north until we reach a state of equilibrium. Well, and then the Earth's axis will not tilt and we will live happily ever after. Thank you for today. Goodbye.